Welcome back, guys and girls. Today you join me at another new lake. This is part of the club that I've joined, and it's actually the reason why I joined this club, well, the main reason, because this lake is known to throw up some real big ones in the past. It was actually, I believe, the UK record was held here about 12 years ago. Big old common. Whether that's still lurking in here, I'm not sure, but I know the club has continuously stocked with VS fishery fish and real crackers by the looks of it. So I've walked around, quite a few people here, not as many as I'd expect for the bank holiday, so that's pretty good. I will just warn you, one of my mates dragged me out last night, so I haven't had much sleep, but I've had a lot of alcohol, so excuse me if I look a bit, oh man. But no, you got to push on, ain't you? At the end of the day, get everything set up, get in the bivvy, go to sleep, and that's when you're likely to get a bite, isn't it? So why have I chose this bit? A couple of reasons. I had a good, well, only a look around for about half an hour, and it bowls right in here, and no one else can fish there. And I was sitting over there, admiring the plant life that's come into bloom over there, and then something crashed out here. And because there's a swim there, swim there, swim there, and no one's fishing it, and the pressure is in the main bowl of the lake. So two things, obviously the fish show, so fingers crossed we can repeat last session's action, and there's no pressure along this side. So if there's been more pressure on that, in my opinion, this is where I think there's been more pressure in the main part of the lake, as you'd typically expect, then hopefully the fish might have pushed up here. Just spoke to a chap there who's only here for the day. He's the closest pressure, but what happens is, as you look that way, there's a big point that comes out and it swoops back in here, and you've got all this lovely margin to the left, just trees, and I love that. So fingers crossed we can make something happen. So yeah, I'm hopeful. First as ever, I want to get some bait mixed up, ready to go out, and I'm going to chuck a lead about and see what's out there. After dotting around, most of it out there is weed, and the deeper part, funny enough, is covered in weed. So I found a spot, probably see it on the rod, rattling around if that was properly set up right. It's about, I'd say, 4 wraps, so my maximum is 10, but you go any further, it's just thick with blanket weed. So yeah, lovely gravelly spot there. The only thing that I'm a little concerned of is it feels quite shallow, probably a couple of 3 feet, but you know, it's warmer now, isn't it? And the fish will move around, so at least, although the pressure is dropping now, we're getting a bit of cloud cover, we're here. At least I'm the only bait source going in, and I think if we make a really attractive bait source, fish the right baits, I'm going to do 2 on the spot then, double corner on one, probably something a bit bigger on the other, maybe like a smaller version of a snowman rig. Got some nice pineapple and banana boilies. Banana, that song, my colleague keeps singing it anyway. And then fish perhaps a little 10mm on top, make a nice little D-rig snowman. So yeah, I'm quite hopeful with that. At least it's a clear spot, nice and gravelly. Okay, probably a bit shallower than what I'd want to be, but let's give it a go. So we found the spot, and obviously could get some bait sorted now, so started to mix some up. What I'm deciding to go for, my mix doesn't change too much. So the main bulk of my mix will be hemp, corn, and boiler chop and crumb. But today I'll put some response pellets in, and of course the all important smart liquid. So a bit of a mess on me there, but you can see it. Look at that. So we've got crushed shell, crushed banana and pineapple boilies. We've got a few 10mm link and a few 10mm essential cell as well. So, but also, although I'll be adding whole hemp to this, also put some crushed hemp in it as well. Why, might you ask? The hemp will probably attract them just as well as the crushed hemp. Yes, but when fish start moving around the swim and that smart liquid's doing its job, going up and down the water column, there's going to be little particles suspending up in the water, and that's what I want. Arguably, I think more important if you're fishing a deeper spot. Like I say, it's quite shallow there, but I want the maximum possible effect. So any passing fish that are coming by, hopefully will make them stick the head down and we'll get a bite. So what am I going to do? I'm going to add the hemp to this, the whole hemp, and some more sweet corn after a little while, but I want to let that smart liquid soak into everything before I put anything too watery in there. Because what I did notice is when I was mixing everything together very quickly, the smart liquid, I don't think then, you don't really get your desired effect. If you let that smart liquid, in my opinion, soak into them particles, that chopped boilie, the whole boilies, the pellets, make them go a bit soft, I just believe that you probably get more of a traction out there. So yeah, I'm going to let all that sit. Then we'll add the hemp. I've got chili hemp today. We'll add the hemp in, and also what I've got in there is a couple of spoonfuls of garlic as well. Some horse garlic. My mate I live with laughed about that, but I saw this on a video. Can't remember who you are, mate. I can barely remember who I am at the moment, if I'm honest. But thank you so much. I've added this to my mix the last few times, and funny enough, I've caught it the last few times, whether it's just right place. You know, I think we can all go too far with bait, can't we? Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, if you get this right spot, your fish are swimming past, they're hungry, the right sort of conditions. I think it's more important, really, touching on bait, to have the right conditions first of all. Any high pressure now that I fish, I'm going to be on zigs. And as we hit 7 PM, nice to see a bit of rain. So fish show just out there, as you can see. If you look a bit further to the furthest margin, where they call the snags, you also see another one crash out, which obviously gives you a lot of hope, doesn't it? But unfortunately they're not anywhere near me, but nonetheless it's good to see fish showing. It means they're getting their heads down and on the feed. Well, only a couple of line bites at night, so nothing much to report. Plenty of fish showing, just not in my area of the lake, so fingers crossed we can have a nice early morning bite. No early morning bites, but plenty of tench rolling all over the place. I even put the kettle on to see if I could get a bite that way. Nothing. So I thought maybe the smell of bacon might do the trick. Yes. Always put the kettle on or make yourself something to eat. Always work. Was that a nice little tent? Okay, save the blank. This lovely female tench. Look at that. Beautiful fish, about the same bite time as the pit on the last session actually. Just having a bacon sandwich there, still got it in my teeth, lovely. And then I see the rod just start to bend, nice beep. Not a scream and run, but I was straight on that, so beautiful. Probably, that's a nice wide fish. Probably 6-7 pound that one, but very, very welcome. Always love a tench, I always say. Need to start bringing my feeder rod because I'd much rather fish on the bite times, the tench bite times, on a lighter feeder rod. But nonetheless, give a good account for itself on the heavier carp rods. Thank you very much. Cool, that water's very warm. These have been rolling around all morning, all over the place really, so I thought I'd missed the time, but obviously getting the heads down now, so beautiful. Thank you very much, Mrs. Tench. These guys were certainly getting their heads down too, so it's time to think about tonight, and I thought I'm going to really get tight to that tree line, so I dotted a lead around first of all, and although there was a little bit of gravel out there, it was still a little bit weedy. So what you'll see me doing here is casting a castable weed rake, and I spent a good couple of hours just clearing a nice little spot where the two trees sort of meet in the middle to make a nice little recess. But these trees, I walked around the other side and they really do go way out in the bank. So, you know, I've had to change tactics on that rod. I've switched it round, so my left hand rod, which has got 18-pound fluorocast on, I've put a shock leader on there and a heli safe rig, and I'll have to just fish it real tight because obviously there's some big carp in here, but there's some real good sized catfish too, and we all know if we get a fish during the night where it's going to end up. So it's all about fishing tight and getting on top of your rods. I'll have to try and secure it down before I go to sleep as well, I should imagine. So yeah, here you find me casting the castable weed rake and clearing that spot ready for this afternoon and this evening. Okay guys, so nice bit of rain this afternoon, and I always say it helps. I thought this was a carp and it was a trailer because stupidly I forgot, well, I stopped recording. I literally was recording for about 15 minutes, stopped recording, and then just looking out and just see my rod just billowing down, and it screamed off. Well, it's not a carp and it's not a trailer. Literally my lead clip somehow pushed right up and made like 12 foot, almost like zig line type style, but this is a better one. This is definitely worth a weigh, this one. So let's do that first. I've zeroed the scales. Real big female. I dare say this one's probably more 7, the other one was probably more 5, looking back at the video. Like I say, I've zeroed the scales already. Just so you know, I'm not lying. Yep. Let's have a little look. Not a bad fish, that. Oh. said it was hold. These are new scales that are won, so I'm 8 pound 8. Nice. Yeah, it's a lovely fish, this one. Like I said, I thought it was a trail. I thought it was a carp first of all. Took me right round the houses. Look at that for a big pit tench, and she puts her fin up. Beautiful. I love a tench. Look at the shoulders. Crazy. Gorgeous fish, real thick set fish that. You know me, I like to show the thickness of fish. Look at that paddle, it's a real dark. And I actually pushed it a little bit off the gravel. I love where features meet, so there's some silt just behind. And I actually cast this time off the gravel. And I don't know whether it works, but and also changed to boilie. So this fell to a cell boilie with a little bit of pineapple pop up on top. Beautiful. I'll give the other one a kiss. This one's definitely worth a kiss. Thank you so much. So let's get her back and see whether the action is going to continue into the evening. I do hope so. So, although no carp yet, I think I'll go home for my first session on this pit happy, even if there's nothing more. But something's telling me with this weather front that's moved in, there's going to be a few more. Look at that fish. I mean, what an incredible tench. If you're purely carp angler, I'm sure you can admire a tench of that size. What a beautiful girl. Thank you so much. Not going to lie, I hope we do see a carp. With the pressure dropping and the wet weather, I'm sure there's a good chance. But for now, I've really enjoyed that fish. Well guys and girls, a very quiet night indeed last night. Just one show I heard and a few tench rolling this morning. Very quiet indeed. So let's recap on the session. 2 tench, do I class that as a good session? I think so, for my first time here. Of course, when you've got the carp rods out, you're fishing for carp, aren't you? Let's face it. But I'm not too dissatisfied with that, because I've been able to sit there and watch the water and try and figure out where's best to come next time, and I'll certainly be going to that area where predominantly most of the shows have been. Obviously I can't talk about that side of the lake because I haven't been sitting on that side of the lake, but definitely where you would have thought anyway, what they call the snags, and it's roped off, there's a bit of you know, a bit of safety for the fish there. So that's certainly somewhere I'll look next time and hope to get on. Don't think the next session will be too far away either, probably only a few days time. So I will be hitting this hard, so please follow along if you've enjoyed this video. Hopefully I'll show you some of the huge residents that live in this lake. Not only the carp, but there's some massive catfish as well. And I don't mind a bit of catfish fishing, so as long as it isn't Tinder. No, all joking aside, bad joke I know. No, plenty more here. Plenty more on the other lakes. Got so much to explore this year now, along with day ticket waters as well. Me and Wes plan to go to Donington for his birthday. Hope he wakes up okay this time. If you haven't seen the video, go and have a look. It was quite funny. No, sorry Wes mate. But yeah, I've enjoyed myself. A couple of nights away, and can't wait to get back down here. Thank you all so much for your love, for your likes, your comments. To you subscribers, I will be doing that subscriber competition video at the end of this month, if not the start of next, just to thank you all for subscribing. So it will only be posted to subscribers, so if you want to subscribe, you've got a little time, but please, I'd rather you just subscribe because you like the videos. But I just want to show my gratitude, really. I think that's always a nice thing to do. So for now, well, I've got a couple of hours left. You never know, I might be able to add something into this video. I don't feel very hopeful. Always be confident, but yeah, it's a high pressure now. I think that's it. And if it is, I'll go away with a huge smile on my face, because I know it won't be long till I'm down here again. So until that time, tight lines on your next session.